Hi, this is Cher, and welcome to the Graham Norton Show.
We have a great sofa for you tonight. The one and only Cher is on the show. Yes, I know Cher. She's in the new Mamma Mia sequel, Here We Go Again. Now, if you haven't seen Mamma Mia, it's the story of a woman who doesn't know which of three men is her father. It's sort of like a Jeremy Kyle special set in Greece. But, hey, Cher and ABBA, what's not to love? I know. It's the gayest thing I've seen all week. Well, apart from the England football team in swimwear riding inflatable unicorns. That happened. Football's coming out. Now, but we should say congratulations to the team, shouldn't we? They won their first World Cup game against Tunisia. I'm told. Apparently the match had more viewers than the recent royal wedding. I know, it's incredible. If you didn't see it, Harry managed to bang one in right at the end. Football. Harry Kane. Meanwhile, this week, Prince Harry took Meghan to her first royal ascot. Not a euphemism. There they are. Oh, look lovely. Meghan's looking at Edward and Sophie going, who are these two nobodies? I'm with you. But as ever, it was the ladies' outfits that stole the show. This woman went dressed as several cages. Thank God President Trump's not visiting yet. He tried to put some child migrants in there. Let's get some guests on! Later with the music from singer-songwriter Tom Odell. But first, she starred in The Tudors, Game of Thrones, and the blockbusting Hunger Games franchise. Now she's bringing us the BBC reimagining of Picnic at Hanging Rock. Please welcome Natalie Dormer! Wowza! Woo! It's a catsuit! Hello. Have a seat, Natalie Dormer. He's been a star of stage and screen for over 30 years. Now he's playing Oscar Wilde and making his directing debut in the critically acclaimed The Happy Prince. It's a warm welcome back to Rupert Everett! Has ruled the airwaves in hit series Sybil and The Good Wife. Now she's reprising her role as Tanya in Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. It's a first-time welcome to Christine Baranski! Wow! So good to see you. Come in and have a seat. There you go. And making her Mamma Mia debut is a music icon who's been at the top of her game for over 6 decades, picking up an Oscar, an Emmy, a Grammy, and 3 Golden Globes along the way. Always a huge pleasure to welcome the fabulous Cher! Have a seat, too. Oh, I'm not sure I could be happier. So welcome on. First time for Natalie. Hello, yes. Hello. And Christine. We've met before, but you've never been on the show before.
Nice yes, I did your radio show.
Yes, you did. Yes, very popular. And now, Christine, obviously you've made the film with Cher now.
I know.
So are you like Bezies now? Are you best mates?
I wish. My goal is to get her cell phone number. Not on the air, but after. Yeah, can you imagine? I mean, there I was in Buffalo, New York, going to all-girls Catholic high school, and, you know, skinny, bad skin, stringy hair, and Cher's coolest woman on the planet, of course, and we all watched the Sonny and Cher show. And so the idea that I would somehow one day be sitting next to her on your show or in a musical with ABBA music, pretty pretty fabulous.
No, remember we used to sit next to each other in our chairs. I remember you telling this story to Julie.
On the set,
Right.
yes, exactly.
Julie Andrews?
Yeah.
Julie
Walters.
Someone hasn't seen Mamma Mia. Because Natalie, now I know you're a Cher fan. Do you have a particular favourite Cher song?
I remember singing to Gypsies, Tramps and Thieves with my mum in her little Ford Fiesta.
Ooh.
Yeah, when I was a little girl. And Moonstruck, I mean...
Well,
I know.
what a role.
Everyone loves Moonstruck. But the thing is, Cher and Rupert, you've been on the show, but not together, but you have known each other for a long time.
We've known each other since I did Mask.
Yes.
Right. I don't know how long ago that was.
I think 1984.
Right.
And I had a friend, Eric Stoltz, who was your son in Mask.
Right.
And we used to go and hang out with Cher at the weekends. And then
Hey, on my bed, too.
On your bed?
Yes.
Wow.
And then we became so famous for knowing Cher. People would say, how's Cher? It was so exciting.
I think we've got a picture of you back in the day. There you are.
Oh, look at us!
Oh, my
And
God.
I remember reading at the time that you two were like an item.
Well... Oh, you're such a little...
But now, talking of celebrity fans, now, Christine Baranski, our great actor, Michael Sheen. Now, do you know Michael Sheen? Do you know...
No,
know
but
what...
he seems to know me.
Yes, so explain the Michael Sheen connection. This is good. You'd like... Do you know this, Cher?
No.
This is good.
Well, I know nothing.
I think Sarah Silverman was quoted as saying that Michael Sheen... It's hard for me to say this, but Michael Sheen refers to his penis as the great Christine Baranski.
Do you have any idea why?
No.
I think we should call him.
Long-lasting career.
Right.
Oh, no.
Yeah, reliable.
Reliable.
Yeah.
Tall and thin.
I mean, you can go anywhere with this. It's a great setup.
Sports a bob.
This comes to haunt me all the time, this remark. I really want to meet Michael Sheen and say, what were you thinking?
Yeah, next time he's on the show, we'll get you, right, let's talk about our first movie treat tonight. Cher and Christine together in Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. Opens on the 20th of July. And the great news is Cher sings ABBA. So what do you give us in the movie?
I give you Fernando.
OK, we've got a little clip. Shall we watch Cher singing some Fernando? Yay! Here is Cher with Andy Garcia performing some Fernando. Can you hear the drums? Here we go.
They were closer now, Fernando. Every hour, every minute seemed to last eternity. I was so afraid, Fernando. We were young and full of life, and none of us prepared to die. And I'm not ashamed to say the roar of guns and cannons almost made me cry. There was something in the air that night. The stars were bright, Fernando. They were shining there for you and me, for liberty, Fernando.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh. No, I watched the movie. I loved it. But my favourite bit was when you look across and you go, Fernando? It's so... I applauded. I was more or less by myself in the
Thank
movie.
you, right.
Because trying to fit the songs in is the challenge in a movie like
Yes,
this.
but we have a great backstory.
Yes.
Can I ask a question, though? Are you Meryl Streep's mother?
Yes.
But you're younger than her, aren't you?
No, I'm older.
Oh.
But not
I'm older by 4 years.
So who broke it to you that you were going to be playing Meryl Streep's mother? What brave producer did that?
You know what? I didn't care. I mean, that doesn't, you know, I thought, oh, OK, fine.
Did you?
Oh, no, I absolutely did. Actually, I didn't think about it that much. truthfully. So, no, I just thought, well, that's cool.
Yeah. And Christine, obviously, you're back as Tanya. So what's going on in Here We Go Again? What's going on?
Well, it's a few years after the first Mamma Mia, and we see Sophie and the Belladonna in, and she's redoing it. And think of it as a reunion. It's a great regrouping of all of the original cast members for this big party that Sophie's doing in her mother's honor.
I must say, I've never been on a set that seemed so easy.
Yeah.
It was, it was like we'd be talking and we'd be like just hanging out talking, and then we'd go onto the, in front of the camera and we'd just be talking. It didn't seem like acting at all. It just seemed like a party. And of course, the boys, the three boys,
Oh
are
my God.
14 together. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
three teenagers all the time being stupid.
Yeah.
And am I right? The attitude or the approach to the boys singing is different this time.
I think it was the funniest thing on the set was how grumpy they were, kicking and screaming their way into these musical numbers.
Yes.
Why do I have to, clap on one and point on two?
Actually, because they can't.
Colin Firth wanted his dance moves to be perceived ironically, No, I didn't really mean that. I'll just kind of offbeat. But they were... I think it was Colin in the trailer one morning said, "I'm so angry about having to wear this spandex jumpsuit. As compensation, I want to stuff a woolen sock down there." So if you see Colin, don't believe that.
It's not the great Christine Baranski.
No.
Yeah.
She's not down there. Well, we've got a clip of the great Christine Baranski and Julie Walters back together again, and this is the two of you returning to the island.
Lovely.
You must meet our hotel manager.
Buenos días.
Señor Cienfuegos, these are my mother's greatest friends. This is Tanya.
Doña Tanya. Your beauty comes not only from the exquisite structure of your bones and the laughter in your sparkling eyes, but from the goodness that flowers within you, like a fountain.
Have been washed and brought to my tent.
Don't think fountains flower, do they?
I feel cheated. I feel cheated because that's not how that scene plays in the film.
No, the Jeep stops and I take one look at Senor Cienfuegos, and I say, "Be still, my beating vagina." Now, there's no subtle way of delivering that line. Just kind of plow right into it. But thank you for letting me say it.
I like the way they thought we were too delicate for that, but yes, it's... and you think, oh, it looks the same, but this isn't Greece this time.
No, it was on the island of Vis in Croatia, and it was so beautiful there.
Is that where you did Game of Thrones?
Yes, for years. Game of Thrones is Dubrovnik and the peninsula along there. It's stunning.
Beautiful,
Croatia.
isn't it?
Yeah, really stunning.
Yeah.
And did you have to be talked into doing this, Cher?
Yeah, well, yes.
So who talked you into doing it?
Well, my friend, who used to be my agent, who's the head of Universal, he called me and said, "You're doing Mamma Mia too," and hung up. And so normally I wouldn't do it just because of one person saying it, but he happened to be the right person.
And, of course, I think it's exciting because after all these years, you're in a movie with Meryl Streep again.
Yes.
Yeah. Because Silkwood was your first movie, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And I've heard you talk about how, some actors were a little sniffy about the idea of Cher going into acting.
It was terrible, actually. Mike Nichols called and said, they're playing the trailer at some movie, in Westwood, and you've got to go and see it. So I said, oh, well, I'm so excited. So I actually didn't do that, but I was very excited. And so my sister, my friend, and I ran to see it. We're sitting there, and it comes up, and they show some clips, and then they say, Meryl Streep, and everybody applauds, and then they say, Kurt Russell, and everyone applauds, and then they say Cher, and everyone started laughing.
Oh.
And it was just... It was heartbreaking, but all I kept thinking was, everyone did it, so it's so organic. It was just it just was the truth. And so I got home and I called him and he said, they may laugh in the beginning, but they won't be laughing at the end.
How true they were.
And I got nominated for Academy Award.
Woohoo! Yes! So we've got Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. What about an album? Is there going to be a new Cher album?
Well, I'm working on one right now that I'm going to try to get...
It's a scoop, everyone!
No, I'm trying to get it released by the time I go to Sydney.
What is it? What is it? Tell us about it.
Well, I'm not going to.
Why?
Because...
I'm a working journalist here. Come on!
No, you're not. I remember you when you used to be on that porn thing in the middle of the night.
It wasn't porn.
It was a porn game show.
It was not porn.
It was a porn game show.
It was an adult game show.
But wait, I have to tell you this. I told everyone I met, and I swear to God, I said, you have to watch this because this guy is going to be a star. I just knew it. You had something so special. I thought, why is he on this show in the middle of the night? No one's seeing him, and this is a stupid show.
Maybe one day you'll be right. He said in his show in the middle of the night. Let's move on. Rupert Everett brings us his new biopic about Oscar Wilde, The Happy Prince. It's out now, and this is extraordinary. You know, you star in it, you wrote it, you directed it. Sort of passion project doesn't quite do it justice. How long have you been trying to make this film?
It took me about 10 years, Graham.
Wow.
But actually, funnily enough, in independent cinema, that's kind of normal these days. It's so difficult to get money together, to find finances. When I first wrote it, I wrote it because I wasn't getting any parts, and I thought, you know, fuck that. I should try and write one for myself. And actors have to be proactive, because otherwise, at a certain age, you're just left on the shelf, and that's that. But I had no idea, really, what it was going to be like. And by year 5, it had become this kind of life and death, wasn't very pleasant, actually, thing. I thought, if I didn't do it after 8 years, who would I be? I wouldn't exist anymore.
And what was it about this part, the kind of the latter part of Oscar Wilde's life, that appealed to you?
I suppose, basically, first of all, because I love the whole idea of him being a huge star and then falling on the skids. I think that's very romantic. But more than that, I suppose for me, really, as a gay man working in a quite aggressively heterosexual business, like show business, Wilde is a kind of patron saint or a Christ figure, almost. And I find the story of Wilde incredibly inspiring and very, very moving.
And you played him so well on stage. I saw you play him on stage.
I played him on stage with Freddie Fox, that's right.
What was that, 20...
That was 5 years ago when I couldn't get any money for the film. I thought, oh, I'll try and play him on stage and do an audition.
God loves a trier.
No, I was very tenacious. I mean, I am historically a flake, so this has been the most extraordinary 10 years of my life that I've, in fact, continued at something.
And the fabulous cast that you held on to for 10 years.
Held on to for dear life, all of them, yeah. I coerced them all into being in it. We had a reading when I first wrote it, and I made everyone sign a little piece of paper. Saying they'd be in it. And then I'd go around Europe saying, yes, I was on the phone to Colin Firth this morning. He said to me, when are we getting going? And all the money was made around him as well. So he was very, very kind to take part.
Did he nearly do a runner at some point?
He never did a runner.
Wow.
He really never did a runner. And he held the whole thing in his hands because all the finance was on him.
And who did he play?
He played Oscar Wilde's friend, Reggie Taylor.
Right.
And he was wonderful at it, too.
Well, we can see him now because we're going to watch a clip. This is you, Oscar Wilde, after you've been released from prison, dealing with your notoriety.
Look! Sticks! Sticks!
Quick to church. What's the matter, Oscar?
What more do you want? What more do you want? Get your hands off me! You've taken everything, you little shit! Everything! My family, my work, my freedom, everything! There's nothing left to take!
Oh, well done.
watching it, you're sort of unrecognisable. Is that all prosthetics, or what is it?
No, it's an amazing fat suit that I had made by this incredible guy called Robert Alsop, and every single bit of it had different stuff inside. I had this amazing low-hanging bum and these moobs, and at first, when I did the play, I decided that Oscar was very well hung. So I had this big hose of a cock and these amazing...
You had your Christine Baranski.
My own Christine Baranski. These wonderful balls made out of dried cheese.
Is this your legacy?
But the thing is, once I started doing it in the play, I had very tight trousers, and I sat in the theatre, and I could see the first few rows of the audience were entranced. I said, my God.
I'm not remembering this.
I never knew that Rupert Everett was so well
hung.
And it kind of took over, so I had to have it cut down to size a bit.
Oh, OK.
And then I made my best Wilde ever remark was in Munich airport. It had been taken out by the customs officials, and they were going over it, and one of them was kind of wanking off the cock. And I said, there's no explosive, there's nothing more explosive than my performance.
And as you say, it is an historical story, but it does still have lots of relevance now, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh, my God.
I mean, at the end, I have written that in 2017 only, along with 75,000 other gay men, Oscar Wilde was pardoned. And actually being pardoned, I don't think, is enough, because to be pardoned infers that there's a crime. And in your country, Ireland, this week, what do you say, the tea shop?
The tea shock.
The tea shop.
Not the tea shop. That's very English.
The tea shop. He apologised, they apologised in the Irish Parliament to all the gays who'd been convicted. And I think that's what needs to happen now. So I thought my next publicity coup would be to chain myself to Downing Street to Theresa May to come in to get her to sign an apology. Yeah. Because she should apologise. A pardon is not enough for these...
And also, it would be something for her to do.
Yes. Keep her busy.
Yeah, it'd be an easy thing. I'll just do this, and it'll kill 15 minutes. But as we say, making a movie, such a labour of love. And Natalie Dormer, now, you've just been through a similar...
Yeah, 9 years, the same, 9 years. From the start of... I co-wrote it with the director, Anthony Byrne, produced it and starred
He's
in
more
it,
than just the director or the writer. He's your partner.
He's my other half, yeah.
Yeah, OK. Yeah.
He's Irish.
It's nothing to do with me.
Aren't you all the same, Graham? No, no, but it's exactly the same. It's you gain your finance, you lose your finance, you gain your talent, you lose your talent. The drafting, the redrafting, you get another job, you think it's never going to happen. I mean, it is, exactly as Rupert says, it's a common story in independent filmmaking, and I wrote it for exactly the same reason you did. I was frustrated at the time when I started writing it in 2009, the lack of three-dimensional, fully fleshed out female roles at exactly the same place as you.
And what's it called?
It's called In Darkness.
And it's coming out?
It's out, yes.
Oh, it is out now?
No, it's coming out on the 6th of July,
That's what I thought,
believe.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, congratulations again.
Thank
what a
you.
Herculean task to get a film made. Well done. And there's an odd link. What's your link to Oscar Wilde, Christine Baranski?
Well, I'm not related to him, sadly. No, I took a course on Oscar Wilde at Oxford last summer. Yeah, they do a wonderful summer programme, and I always wanted to study there since my daughter got a master's degree at Wolfson College, and I went, oh, God, I wish I could go to this school. But anyway, they have a summer programme, and I did T.E. Lawrence the year before, and last summer I did Oscar Wilde, but everybody should spend time with Oscar Wilde.
And did you go to Magdalen and everything where he,
yes,
where he was?
Yes, because he was. Oxford was so much a part of the happiest part of his life.
Mm. And was your daughter in Oxford at the same time as you?
No, years earlier, but I could never do the Oxford programme because I was always doing The Good Wife.
OK. Yes.
But as soon as The Good Wife ended, I had a chance to go. And I was supposed to go this summer for a course on the BBC. But I couldn't because of family issues, but I'm doing your show instead.
Yeah, no, this is... really, you'll walk away knowing everything. I mean, this is the home of the BBC here. And what's the thing now, Rupert? You live with your mother now? Have you moved in with your mother?
I've moved in with my mother, yeah.
Yes.
We lived... well, we don't live together. We live next door to each other in the country, in Wiltshire. And so far, so good. There's an Oscar Wilde quote, actually, that's very funny. All women turn into their mothers. That is their tragedy. No men do, and that's theirs. But I've noticed I am turning into my mother. So you got that one wrong.
But do you live separate lives, or is it kind of...
Well, we have separate houses, and and we have separate... You know, the trouble with moving back home is that your mum really starts treating you exactly as she treated you when you were 10. So it's very easy to slip into a rather weird old relationship where you'd behave like a... Sorry, Mummy.
But your mother gave you very... Well, I was going to say words of wisdom, but more of a warning when you were very young. When you moved...
What did she say?
Didn't you move to the country, and didn't she give you a talk about going into the woods?
Oh, yes. Well, she said, listen, don't go into the woods, because there's this very strange man who'll take you to his house and put you on his kitchen table, give you sweets and play with your willy. Well, I was absolutely thrilled. I got straight on my tricycle and was back up and down those woods. And nothing ever happened. She had a very vivid sense of humour. She said, and in London, be careful, some people are going to come and inject you in the bottom, and then you're going to be completely out of it. And I thought, whoa, where are you? It never happened.
Because Cher, your mom is still with us.
Yes.
Now it's not funny, but I do think a brilliant bit of advice that you should share is her 5-year rule.
If it doesn't matter in 5 years, it doesn't matter.
Isn't that a good thing to... If something bad happens, you kind of think, will I care about this in 5 years?
And so it always helps me. It always comes in handy.
No, I read that, and I just thought that
Brilliant.
is actually
Very good
a genius bit of
Yeah.
advice. Really, really good. And I wonder, did she come up with that thinking when you were a teenager? Because you were quite a wild child, I would say.
All right. I was wilder when I was 9 years old than I ever was as a teenager.
Okay.
I ran away from home, I stole a horse, I jumped on a freighter, and kept going until my girlfriend started crying for her mother.
Oh, how did you get back?
I called my mother.
But this is... No, like, you say you... How old... This is Cher's... I don't know if it's your only, but it's certainly your first mugshot. How old...
Oh, my God, that's not true. That's not true. I did it, but I didn't get arrested for it.
What's that from, then?
That's my school picture when the 8th grade. They just put that... I swear to God, I would cop to it if it was true.
Why did it say Los Angeles Police in front of you?
Because some, like, rag magazine thought it was funny, and I actually did, too. But, so, all right, I learned how to drive when I was 11. So my girlfriend...
Not wild, really.
No, my grandfather taught me. It wasn't a big deal. So my friend had a boyfriend, and he said he had to go in. We were at a bowling alley. He said, I have to go in, and I have to say something to a friend. I'll be there for 4 seconds. And we waited, and he didn't come out. And so then the girl said, Cher, you know how to drive. Let's just drive around the parking lot. I said, OK. And then he didn't come out. So, Cher, let's just drive around the block. And so he didn't come out, and I just thought, well, I'm going to take us out. And so we went to a drive-in to get something to drink, and we got arrested. But not exactly arrested, just taken to jail. No, honestly, just taken to jail. Just with a warning.
That's right. Natalie Dormer, have you ever been in jail?
No.
Have you never been arrested?
Unfortunately not.
Were you, like, a perfect child?
I haven't had the wild years that maybe Cher has had. No,
Were you head girl?
I was head girl. Damn you. Yeah. No, you never know. The next few years, I might suddenly break free, Graham.
Yeah.
I save it for my roles, darling. I save it for my roles.
Yeah, rock out. Yeah, very good. Because Natalie Dormer is going back to school. She brings us the BBC's version of Picnic at Hanging Rock. It starts on BBC Two next month. Now, people might know the 1970s film, the Peter Weir film.
Yes.
But this goes back to the novel.
The Joan Lindsay novel of '67, yes.
So in the expanded story, what happens?
So I'm playing Hester Appleyard, who is the headmistress of Appleyard College, and at 1900, turn of the century, Melbourne, Australia, rural Australia, and there's a picnic, as the title suggests. And during this school trip, 3 girls and 1 teacher go missing. And then it's like the knock-on effect, the ramification of this mystery of these young women having gone missing, and the college and the wider community sort of, you know, their response, and the school basically collapses. So...
Is it a true story, though, or not?
No, you see, that is the genius of Joan Lindsay's publishers in the 60s.
Oh.
People think
it was true.
It's a true story, and still to
I
this
always
day,
thought it was
I thought so too. Me
right?
too.
Everyone, most people have that response. And it was a stroke of genius by them, and the Weir film, I think, perpetuated that. But no, it's fiction.
Well, listen, we've got a clip. This is you in episode 1, preparing the schoolgirls for the picnic.
Good morning, girls.
Good morning, Mrs. Appleyard.
We are indeed fortunate in our weather for the picnic to Mount Diogenes. As the day is likely to be warm, you may remove your gloves after the drag has passed through Wood End. I must warn you, the rock is extremely dangerous. You are therefore forbidden from engaging in any tomboy foolishness in the matter of exploration. The vicinity is also renowned for its venomous snakes and poisonous ants. Try to have a pleasant day.
So it's a 6-parter, the series, and it's not just lots of women on screen. It was a very female-led production.
Yes, a very female-centric project. Female producers, 2 female writers, female director, showrunner, leading another male director and another female director, and female-centric characters. So it really was had a real female feel to it.
And did you get to go to Hanging Rock?
I did.
The real Hanging Rock?
Yes, the real Hanging Rock. The real.
Rock.
It's Mount Diogenes. It's in the south.
Right.
It is in the Macedon wine region, which is very useful.
Yeah. But also it's weird because you drive along and it's just a rock. I think it is just a rock.
It's this incredible stone, as you say, structured rock.
It's like a hanging rock.
It just sort of, but you're right, it's quite flat everywhere. And it sort of just raises out of the...
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's got sacred connotations to the indigenous population, and whether you believe in ley lines or God, or even if you're just a straightforward pagan, it's, you know, it has an energy, and that you can feel it when you're there. It's quite a special place.
Well, Picnic at Hanging Rock. Well, good luck with that. And very quickly, this is good news, everyone. Cher is going on tour.
Yes, I'm going to Australia and New Zealand.
Hey,
Which is very nice for them. How did they get so lucky?
My managers are from New Zealand. I mean, from Australia, from Sydney. No, it just kind of, you know what? Because I went to the parade.
Oh, to Mardi Gras.
Right,
Yeah, yeah.
and I had a great, great time, and someone said, would you like to come down here? And I said, sure.
And what about the rest of us? Because I have to tell you, the last time you were on the show,
yes,
you told me, stop asking stupid questions, that's never going to happen. And now, look, you are on the road again.
Well, yes, because who knew? I mean, I'm so old. Who thought that this would... No. Well, I don't have little white chin hairs, but, like some people.
Wow. That's low, Cher.
I said that to you backstage.
That's a low blow.
No, yeah. No.
He shaved his off.
Right. I said it to you backstage, and you said something very funny, and I can't remember what it is.
Nor can I.
No,
If I could, I would repeat it.
Nobody expects to be working at my age. There are very few women on tour or women on stage now. You know, I think Bet and I are it. So it wasn't a lie. I just didn't think I would be here.
So if you're still doing it at 72?
72, yeah.
72. Woo. Do you have a number in your head where you're thinking that's it? Yeah, I think that's it. Do you have a number in your head where you're thinking?
No, I have no number in my head because it doesn't compute. It's like my mother is 92, and my mother is so cute and adorable, you know, and she was the one from the beginning of my life who said, you know, you will, she said, you won't be the prettiest, you won't be the smartest, you won't be the most talented, but you are special. And so she has, you know, that's what she instilled in me, but she didn't tell me that you would go on forever. You'll be working till you're 90.
Yeah, you'll stay special.
Right, yeah.
Stay special. Well, listen, good luck with the tour, and I hope it comes here. Cher, everybody.
Yeah.
It is time for music. This Brit award-winning singer-songwriter has sold millions of records worldwide and is back with his first new music for 2 years. Here performing If You Want to Love Somebody, it is Tom Odell.
You should look at your reflection if you want to see a light. You're heading in the right direction if you want to pick a side. Give me more perfection if you want to see me cry. Or if you want to love somebody. Or if you want to love somebody. I'm your guy. I'm your guy. You should get your car a start if you want to be a part. Go to the Californian part if you want to be a star. Flick back through your memories if you want a broken heart. Or if you want to love somebody. Or if you want to love somebody. Or if you want to love somebody. I'm all yours. I'm all yours. I'll be waiting. Cry, oh, cry, oh, cry. And I'll be waiting till you decide you wanna be in love. You really shouldn't let me hold you if you wanna just pretend. You gotta make your kiss a little colder if it's ever gonna end. Lay your head upon my shoulder if you just need a friend. Or if you wanna love somebody. Or if you wanna love somebody. Or if you wanna love somebody. I'm your man. I'm your man. I'll be waiting. And I'll be waiting till you decide you wanna be in love. You wanna be back in love. You wanna be back in love. You wanna be back in love. You've got enough by now. 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 Oh, oh.
Tom Odell, everybody! Great job! Come on over, have a seat. Lovely job. Thank you very much, Tom Odell. Come on, sit down. That's Natalie Dormer, Rupert, Christine, and Cher. Very good. Thank you very much. And we must say a big thank you to the Urban Voices Collective. They're over there, and the rest of the band. Beautiful job. Oh, it was live. It was live. Very good. And obviously, it's nerve-wracking. I don't know. Do you get nervous doing things like that?
I'm terrified, but I feel very relieved now.
Yeah.
I think I have a drink as well.
You do? Does having Cher here make it worse?
Yes, fuck it.
No, but it was great.
Oh, thank you.
It was great, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed it both times.
Okay.
Is that stupid?
You can enjoy it multiple times if you pre-order the album. Tom Odell, the album Jubilee Road. It's not out till... well, I don't know, but it's available for pre-order today.
October the 12th, yeah.
Oh, but you can pre-order it now?
Yes, October the 12th with long,
That's a lot. I love Tom Odell, but I mean, that's a long time. And so where is Jubilee Road?
Jubilee Road was inspired by a road I lived on for 3 years in London. And I asked the neighbours if I could call it the real road. And they said they didn't want it to become like Abbey Road with the pedestrian crossing.
That's nice of them to kind of go, yeah.
Real compliment.
Yeah, real compliment.
Ambitious as well.
And there's a really sweet story about, I said you sold records all over the world.
Right.
You got, in New York, you got recognised.
Yeah, I was in New York, like, one of the first times, maybe it wasn't the first time, but I was just like, someone had told me about the jaywalking thing, about how you can get in trouble for jaywalking in New York. And I was just this, like, naive 21-year-old Englishman mincing across the street when, like, there was no green man there, on the...
They don't like that.
They don't like... If you can't walk unless there's a green man. And these police cars sort of pulled me over, put his lights on, like, ran out of the car. These, like, New York City cops. And I thought I was going to be arrested, like, thrown in jail.
Like Cher.
Yes. Together would be lovely. But anyway, no, and it's a very long, drawn-out story I'm telling here for not a very good ending, but they basically just then screamed song names at me of my own. And it was a really bizarre experience, and I got off with got away with a selfie, and they sort of...
That's proper fame.
I know, but yeah, I mean, I think it's only happened once.
Oh. Christine, you've got recognised in weird places. Because I feel like I don't watch it, but the show you get recognised the most for isn't The Good Wife or The Good Fight.
No, it's The Big Bang Theory. In fact, when I was at Oxford visiting, I was trying to get into Magdalen College. I was buying a ticket to get into the college to tour the beautiful gardens. And the young man said, "Oh, you're Leonard's mother." I mean, being Leonard's mother has given me just egress into all kinds of wonderful places. It pays to, be a... Because that's such a well-known show, and I rarely appear on it, but because I'm the leading man's mother, and it's a funny character, it's a really funny character, it's the power of television. It's crazy.
Wow, it gets you a free garden entry.
Yes, right. Yes.
Yeah. Living the dream. Very good too.
Yes.
Yeah. And I also liked... No, we'll shut up. Tom Odell, thank you so much for that live performance. Good luck with the album. Tom Odell, everybody. Now, that's nearly it. Before we go, we do have time for a final visit of the series to the big red chair. Who's there? Is it a big finish? Hello, who are you?
Hi, Craig.
Where are you from, Craig?
Originally from Scotland, but I live in Peckham in London now.
OK. And off you go with the story.
OK, mine's slightly Cher-related. So years ago, I had this neighbour, and they would complain all the time about the noise and stuff, every little noise. And in the mornings, about 6 a.m, I would wake up with Cher's Greatest Hits playing. And I went away on holiday for a few weeks, and I thought, before I go, I'd better turn the alarm down. And mistakenly, I actually turned it up to maximum. And he was woke up at 6 a.m. every single morning with Cher's voice basically reverberating around his bedroom. And I didn't realise until I came back, but he told me that the stress almost killed him.
Christmas. Thank God for such a wonderful thing. OK. Who's next?
Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
Jared.
I wonder if this is also a Cher-related story.
Might be, just maybe.
OK, off you go with your story.
So I'm actually obviously a massive Cher fan, but unfortunately in my life I've never had the chance to get her autograph. I've got her signature tattooed on my back, but it is the result of a Google image search.
Prove it.
So getting the real thing...
That's not going to happen.
I would do it.
Would you do it?
Yes.
She will. Come on, go back. Can you bring him out? Oh, here he comes. Hey, here we go. Come forward here. Hello, hello. Where do you want the signature?
Just on the existing tattoo would be great.
Oh, no, next to it, sure.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, well, no, you can't have two, though. You're right, but... I think do it separately.
But that's really good. Why do you want a new one?
Google image is never wrong.
No, it's perfect. That's one of my best ones. All right, let me just put kisses under it.
Oh,
OK, that's a good idea, yes.
Right.
and then maybe just one more here.
Nah. There.
Oh, OK,
Thank you.
There we go. That is a really good Cher tattoo, and then...
Right.
little
Also,
kids-
just have him do it with a small needle since the kisses came off of that.
Oh, perfect.
I know about tattoos.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, nice made. Oh, no. Get out of here. Give them an inch. Give them an inch. All right, well done, everyone. If you'd like to join us on the show and have a go in the red chair, you can contact us via our website at this very address. That is it for tonight. Please say thank you to my guests, Tom Odell, Natalie Dormer, Rupert Everett, Christine Baranski, and the one and only Cher. That is it for this series, but do join me next week for a look back at some of the highlights of the past 12 weeks. We'll be back in the autumn. Till then, have a great summer. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye. Woo.
Hey, I'm Riaz.
And I'm Alex.
And we've a brand new Radio 1 podcast about when sex goes wrong called Unexpected Fluids.
Think of it as a shame-free zone to share your hilarious tales of erotic imbalance.
That's Unexpected Fluids. Get it now from the BBC iPlayer Radio app.